Hi, and welcome to George's Furniture. We're doing a What's Happening in George's shop again today. One thing we have that's really unique, which I don't actually see it normally being made, is putting on the Cove crown on top of Hutch's. So we're going to see a craftsman who's finishing up his Hutch as he's preparing the Cove crown on the top. Here is the top of the Hutch that he's made. Actually, the base is already finished and back in the paint room, our paint room staining area, and it's being finished. Now, the Cove crown, what's really unique with our furniture is that the Cove crown on the top is not just for looks. It actually is a functional piece of the Hutch. So what the craftsman has done to the box, the box of the top of the Hutch is actually right here. And then the crown is put on the top. Now he's already mitered this one. It's pretty precise. It's a 45-degree angle. And you can see the actual inside the cabinet. This actually goes all the way up to the top. So unlike many Hutches where the top is just for show, our Hutches are designed to go for space inside, to go all the way up to the very top of the Hutch. So he's put on the Cove crown there. And now what he's doing is fitting the wedges in to fill in. So here's the actual top of the Hutch, and then this is a piece that he is putting in. So the entire top is solid wood. So there's no longer the space of a few inches where if you put something on top of the Hutch, then it would fall down. But ours actually goes all the way up to the top. Now you can see here we use little nails to anchor the Cove onto the top of the Hutch. This is actually cherry wood we're using. We also work with walnut, oak, and maple. And if you want to cut it, make sure you cut it long, so you can always cut more off. But if you cut it too short, that could be a problem. The furniture is very precise. It's a miter saw. It's a longer piece, and so he'll also make a piece that will go inside here. So if you look at the graining, you can see that everything we make is solid hardwood. We don't use even plywood up on the top or the parts that you don't see. So when we say it's 100% solid wood, it is 100% solid wood. Inside the Hutch, we have the space for the tracking. We use metal shelf tracking, and that's installed after it's had its stain and its coats of finish. That's part of the hardwaring time. There's a lot of time and precision that goes into each piece, because this particular piece will be signed by Anthony, the craftsman who built the entire piece from start to finish. So he would actually pick out the wood that he wants to use. Here you can see the graining. Now this particular piece will be stained black. So there's a very popular style or look is where the box part of the cabinet is stained black, and then the doors and the drawers are stained a different color. So cherry might be a medium stain color, not a dark red, or it could be a darker red. The customer gets to decide their color combination. Alright, so it looks like he might be working on the smaller, yeah, the smaller section there. We're trying to make it pretty, pretty filled in there. Oh, and then you they'll sand, once they put it in there and you glue it in, it's glued in, and then they'll take a belt sander and they'll sand that flush with the top. So right now he's just getting it in there, so it's filled in. All right, well thank you for allowing us to learn how to miter or to fill in the Cove crown on all of our hutches, which is a very unique thing that our craftsmen do. Let's go and see what else is here in our shop. Well, here we have Bob that's working on, we call this roughing it in, where you have the raw lumber cut to length, getting it ready to glue together. Here we have Justin also working on selecting wood, cutting it to length on our bandsaw. And one other place over here, this is our chair department. We actually have someone whose gym is working on chairs. Looks like it's going to be a long bench. It's one that has, you can see the shape of the back there. Earlier he was using the sander to finish off the contour. You can see there's a slight contour to the seat. Right here it goes up, and then the rungs will be put in, or no, actually this is where the back will be attached to. So that would have been done on our seat disher, the machine, air-driven machine. It's like a router that follows a pattern below. Actually, this may have actually been done with a skill saw.
Right.
Yes, you actually did a skill saw, because this piece is too large for our air-driven machine to help it for us. So then we are back to a skill saw, which is actually the original way that we used to make all of our chairs. There are some chair backs, and they are part of these chairs. Now this is one of our wider chair here. It's a pretty wide seat. Looks like it's a walnut, and he'll be putting those together. I suspect the rungs are probably somewhere around here as well. All right, well that's what's happening here in George's shop. And until next time, we'll find out what's happening in George's shop.